Hello children, today I'm going to show you how to make some joining techniques that I would like you to use in making a castle. So some of these things we've learnt in school, and if you remember, seems like a long time ago now since we were in school. If you remember, there's a display next to the workshop table that shows you how to make slots. So a slot is a cut into a piece of paper or a piece of card. I've just got a piece of card from a cardboard box there that was delivered to my house. And to make a slot, you just cut up really carefully in one direction, and that will mean, can you see, that there is a little cut that goes part the way up this piece of card. Okay, so let me get another piece of card here, another piece from my box. So if I put, if I put this piece of card with the slot in it, if I slot it down onto my next piece of card, can you see how it goes part way down the card? Okay, so it makes a bit of a corner. Okay, but what I'm going to do now is I'm going to be quite sneaky and cut another slot that goes on this bit of card. Again, I'm going to be very careful to just do it part of the way down, not all the way down to the bottom. So let me just see if I just cut this one a little bit longer. So that means that if you have, let me just move these other things I might need later. If you have one piece of card with the slot pointing up, one piece of card with your slot with the opening at the bottom, and you slot them together, look what happens. It stands up on its own. It's quite sturdy and stable. Do you remember we've used those words? So have a look. It makes a corner, and you see, out of where you have joined it with the slot, but actually it can stand up on its own. So that would make the corner of my castle maybe. And if I did it again on this side with another piece of card, and slotted it down. There we go. Now it's getting really sturdy and stable. Can you see? I've got 3 of my curtain walls there now for my castle. So that will stand up on its own. So I just need my other wall to my castle, which I could make out of the other bit of card from my parcel that was delivered to my house. So I will need to cut a slot down on each of these walls. You might need a grown-up to do this. If you're doing it with thick cardboard like I've got, you might need a grown-up to help you because it's quite tricky to cut. But you can do it with thinner card, and you can do it with paper as well. It's obviously not as sturdy if you do it with paper, but it's quite possible to do it with paper. So then look, here I have my other slots. There we go. Can you see? So there are the curtain walls for my castle. The only trouble is it is the most secure castle in the land now because there's no doorway to get into it. So you'll have to think about how to cut a doorway into your castle, which I will let you have a think about. You might, again, need a grown-up to help you with this. It depends what kind of doorway you want. You could just have a big door like this. You might need it to open both ways. So when you cut that out, you need to remember to leave a little bit attached to be the hinge of the door. Sorry, I can't do this. I'll try and turn it round so you can see what I'm doing. So can you see how I've not cut all the way down? This is going to be my hinge here at the bottom. There we go, look. So, I'll show you, I've just cut half of it. So there we go. So there is my half of my door, because I've left a little bit here at the bottom. This little bit here, I've left attached to be my hinge. Okay. I'm just going to move that for a moment and show you a different way that you could make a door for your castle. Let me just, I've got lots of boxes that I've turned. If you haven't seen the video already where I showed you how to make a vehicle, at the beginning of that video I show you how to turn a box so that it has got cardboard that you can paint on, so you don't need the shiny side of the cardboard. Here is another way of, I've got a box full of junk here that needs to go in my recycling bin, but I thought, oh, I know what I'll do with this. You have a look, I've cut 2 slots, one down either side, and I have made a little drawbridge. So I'd have to think, how will I attach that? Maybe I'll put some string on and attach it at the bottom and the top of there to make a little hinge. But that's another way of doing it. And then I thought, some really important parts of a castle. We see most castles have, do you remember what these are called? We read them in our reading last week. They're called battlements. So these turrets, the round bits that might be at the corners of your castle. So let me just get my strange castle back that I've made. You might want to have battlements at the corner. If you have some kitchen roll, that would be perfect, because look, the tower then comes even taller than the curtain walls, and you can cut the top into a battlement. Now I will just show you how to do that, but don't worry if you only have toilet rolls instead of a kitchen roll, because I'm going to show you how to join them together to make a taller turret for those. Okay, so the first thing I will show you, let me just get rid of that again, is that I am going to cut, to make these little battlements at the top of the turrets, the top of the towers, I am going to snip just a little way. You can see I've only snipped a little way into the top of these. Now, you need to have an even number of snips when you're doing this, otherwise it won't work out, because if you have a look, there's one bit standing up and then it goes down, up, down, up, down, up, down. So you need to make sure that there is an even number. That is any number when we count in twos. So if you wanted only 2 of those, you'd do 2 snips. So 2, 4, 6, 8. This one I did 8 cuts on, and it's given me 1, 2, 3, 4 little bits sticking up and 4 little bits sticking down. This one I cut a bit wider and it only has 3 on it. So I did 6 on this one. 2 for this one, 2 for this one, and 2 for this one. 2, 4, 6. Okay, so I will just show you how to do that now. So you're going to snip a tiny way in, just as tall as you want the battlement to come up. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, and then you're going to fold one out and then leave one, fold it out and then leave one, fold it out and then leave one, and fold it out. So it will end up looking like this. So you've got some bits sticking up and some bits sticking out, but we don't want these bits that are sticking out, so all you're going to do is snip those off. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you're left with your turret. Okay, so let me just get rid of these little bits of rubbish.